Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday night update. I'm Ads from UTG. Good to be back in front of the screens. Of course, before we begin, hit that like button, tap the subscribe button if you can, and of course, tick the little bell to stay updated on all of our good things and videos coming out soon. Well, BTC, let's jump right into it tonight. I had a bit of a longer one last night, so let's keep this one a little bit shorter. So BTC, where are we at? 58K, not too much happening, admittedly, since our update yesterday. So in general recap, we were looking at this 55K or 56,000 demand for BTC, and that was the area of interest for me currently, seeing that we were looking at the swing low to swing high Fibonacci retracement, and that coincided nicely with our 38.50 and of course the 61 just underneath that, and more so the 38 and the 50. Look, we did get a movement down towards the 38, and that happened a couple of days ago. So that was there yesterday, and we did push past the 23.6 currently, and we are getting caught again for a second time on this liquidity area that we see to the left-hand side of the current price. So we've got liquidity here where we were rejected a couple of days ago. We have liquidity to the left-hand side, which was around early March. And of course, even earlier in March, we were looking at this level for support and resistance. But in general, just an area of liquidity that is of interest, for BTC at 59,550. So, pending this movement now, we have moved back above the 50 RSI, and if we are to look at gravy train for our level, we are still maintaining a gray area here. So it's still an area of indecision, and we are just moving in between these two levels, ping-ponging, if you will, in between the 38 and this level of resistance here at the top. So it's going to be an interesting one to really call. With the BTC Dominance Chart going the way it is, and the altcoin market going the way it is, it's no surprise that BTC is just moving to the right-hand side. We are stalling at this price point, having a little bit of a lull in the movement of BTC to give the altcoins those movements that we're looking for, and I'll explain this further. So let's jump right into the BTC Dominance Chart and see what I'm talking about. So the BTC Dominance Chart, this area here was the most relevant area for me over the past, probably a couple of weeks, even a couple of months. And I say that because this area down here, this massive daily pivot point, was the area that formed the highest quality level of demand to the right-hand side that we see highlighted in purple. And we smashed straight through that pretty easily. And of course, that's not a surprise. It is the dominance chart. It is a derived chart, so it's not going to be exact, and I'm not preaching that it will. But if we are to see anywhere that the dominance chart can continue, if we are to head downwards, we'd be looking at the 54-point mark or 54% mark for the dominance chart. So we have, well, we'll leave that in there for the minute. We'll get rid of the white line. We have broken through this level. So the next level of interest, there's two, to be honest with you. There's this one here that we see a pause in the market. Sorry about the flicking around. There's a pause in the market here, as you can see, where we created some liquidity and some movement to the right. So you see those cluster of candles. That's one area of interest, but the other is the pivot point around here, and that's just underneath at around 53. So there's two areas really in general that we're looking for. One is here, it's of low quality, but the higher quality one is around 54, and it coincides nicely with each other anyway, and we've got a respected bounce from that area also. So let's keep that one in there. So the next area in terms of a demand is going to be around 54. We are at 56.91, basically 57% for the market dominance for BTC. And if we are to see this continue to the downside, it will trigger a massive alt run. It doesn't seem like much from 57% to 54, but that is a lot of capital that would flow out of BTC. and back into the altcoins, or back into any of the altcoins, you know, mixed across the larger cap, the smaller cap, the caps and everything like that. So BTC, being a huge market cap that it is currently, to lose 3 or 4% and head back into the alts, that's a decent chunk of change. So that will cause a decent run on the alts. Of course, this chart in any case, in general, needs a bit of a cool off, and we are seeing the cloud be a little far away currently. So if we zoom in onto the 4-hour time frame to get a better idea on where we're at, we are seeing that cool off come to fruition now. Whether or not we see it come higher than this level here is another thing. And if we do have a little bit of a better cool off, I would be looking at Fibonacci, but more importantly, I'd be looking at a level of demand, or supply, and that would be around this area here. Like I said, the BTC Dominance Chart is not perfect. It's a derived chart. It's an index chart. It's calculated by TradingView. You can see it up here. So it's derived from something. It's derived from the altcoin market cap versus the BTC market cap. So it's not going to be accurate to a T, not too exact, but it's going to be a little, it's going to be a decent chart just to keep an eye on and give you a decent market direction. So it's quite bearish currently. We have made a lower low, and in my opinion, you'll probably make a lower high before getting any sort of lower lows again. I don't think we'll have a massive move down to 54. I think it'll probably be a slow bleed, as we did observe here, but we are seeing some slippage currently. So we'll keep an eye on this over the next couple of days and see how this plays out. Anyway, moving on. Ethereum moving in the direction that we want to see it in. It is an altcoin through and through. So as the BTC Dominance Chart does decline, you'll see some money move into ETH. And we are seeing this come to fruition today, but it is still getting caught around the previous high. We did make a higher high again today, but only for a brief second there. So if we are to see Ethereum go anywhere, it is respecting the 50 RSI nicely. And I would expect it to continue, seeing that we are moving still on the upwards trajectory. Putting Gravy Train onto our chart. We did get a respected cloud there, and of course our level of demand running across the top of that level. So it's still bullish by Gravy Train standards, and of course we have observed that with our higher high. But I'm not discounting a double top scenario here, but we'll see how this goes over the next couple of days. If we are to see it pull back, for you bears out there, I'd be looking towards this area immediately, which is 2040, and I think the 2000 mark will act as a nice round number in terms of a level of support. And we did see that again just yesterday around the 2 o'clock mark Melbourne time. The star of the show, however, has been XRP, and it's been moving quite incredibly, to be honest. Yesterday we were getting stuck around this level here, around 70 cents, which was, that was yesterday, just around the time that we were talking about it. Since then, we didn't get the pullback that I was looking for. It actually just blasted through our level of supply. It moved to the next one, and then we're moving through the next one now. We're nearly getting to $1 for XRP, so over $1 Australian for you guys trading here. So let's have a look on the daily and see where this is going to go next. So we've reached this pivot point currently. Excuse me. So the next one I would think would be around this area. So we're just going by pivot points currently, and what I mean by that is this is going to be a pivot point. We had a very short, shallow pivot point here, and of course we continued down. So this was the main one, the one outlined in blue, which is now gone. We've destroyed the one lower purple one, so that's gone, that's gone. The next major pivot point is around this area here, and it's a larger circle, but this area is going to be around the vicinity that will probably get caught with XRP. It's around $1, so it's a psychological resistance, and we do have a couple of candles that are respected just to the right hand side, which play a part in my opinion, and it would make the area a little bit too big, but that's okay. $1.10 is the area that we were previously rejected from, and that occurred on the 5th of March in 2018. So we haven't seen XRP this high since then, but it can get there. We've seen these runs pump for no reason, or even pump you know, not according to TA. So that's definitely not new in crypto. And we could see it definitely get to the 138 extension, which is $1.10 for XRP. That's where I would like to see XRP end up over the next couple of days. But just full transparency, I do have a position in XRP. It's quite a bit up now. But if I'm looking for any sort of area to give myself a little bit of a pullback or a sell-off, I would think it would be around this 110 area, because we did have that previous top, or those previous candles respected to the left-hand side there. So very exciting for XRP, but just remember, it can come down as fast as it can go up. So just be mindful. Don't forget to take profit. If your TA says that you are in an area that you should be taking profit, do that. And I have taken a little bit of profit so far. So it's not like I haven't been. It's not like I'm shooting for the moon. I have been taking small snippets of profit along the way, but my overall target will be the daily supply at $1.10 currently. So we'll see how we go. It was previously back here at around 90 cents where we were talking about yesterday, but we smashed through it. So let's move to the next one, which is up here. Moving on, the last one to have a look at this evening is the DXY. So DXY is a regulated market, not financial advice at all, just ideas and opinions of us at UTG. And we got the movement that we were expecting. We didn't really shoot for the 93.8. That was a possibility, but we didn't come to fruition as well. We did hold the ground quite well yesterday until some movement or some volume came in and we pushed past it. So currently looking at the 38.2, let's get rid of some of this TA and have a look where we're at. Gravy Train's probably going to give us, yes, a decent idea. So Gravy Train, we moved into the stop long area and we did retest the top cloud. So it won't surprise me, or it will not surprise me, if we end up here at the 50 at 92.43, and that coincides nicely with our bottom cloud structure. It is very accurate in terms of Gravy Train resistances and supports that we find on regulated markets, because there's so much data. So if you want to know more about Gravy Train, you can find it down below in the link. That'll take you to the UTG website and you can find Gravy Train there. But from what I'm observing with the USD or the DXY, I'd be looking for a retest of the 23.6, and then a further movement down, I think, would be the 50 at 92.43. That would be the play I'd be looking for over the course of this evening. Thank you all for joining me, however. It's been a good 12 minutes. I think we've covered a decent amount of info. If you want to know more, you can always join the Discord. Links are down below, of course, in the description. We're only a tag away in the Discord, so you can go at ads or at text in the Discord, and we'll reply a short time later as soon as we're free and able to. But that really wraps us up tonight. Thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.